Now, you might think, what does gun control have to do with immigration? Well, let me play a little clip from Doug Ford, the Premier of Ontario, and clip that's actually proving to be quite controversial. Now, I don't understand why, but see if you can spot it, and then we'll talk about it. So here, let's play this clip.
But enough is enough. You're bringing your problems from everywhere else in the world. You're bringing it to Ontario, and you're going after other Canadians, as the Prime Minister said. Unacceptable. I got an idea. Before you plan on moving to Canada, don't come to Canada if you're going to start terrorizing neighborhoods like this. Simple as that.
Yeah, so I don't think he said anything unreasonable, but there was a surprising pushback from the media, and even the next day, some reporters were asking him, oh, now that you've had a day to think about it, do you still stand by your remarks? And to his credit, he did. Now, you might think to yourself, well, what happened here? And this is what leads into gun control and immigration. Now, gun control and immigration are the two sacred cows of Canadian left-wing politics. Let me explain how. Let's use gun control as an example first. Anybody who supports gun control, and let's be honest here, that's most of us. I mean, nobody wants to have idiots running around with machine guns in the street. Everybody who supports gun control is expected and is required to blindly and unconditionally support any initiative that's done or even proposed in the name of gun control. It doesn't matter what the initiative is. It doesn't matter if there is a cost-benefit analysis being done or what the result of that is. No, the very fact that an initiative is made, is labeled as being part of the overall gun control initiative requires everybody to support it. And if anybody pushes back against any such individual initiative, they are immediately attacked, immediately shouted down as being against all of gun control. This is very much you either with us or against us. And if you're with us, you have to be with us on everything that we propose in the name of gun control. They are labeled as American, part of this mythical Canadian gun lobby, whatever, right? Immigration is exactly the same way, and this is what we're seeing here. And immigration is a little bit more complicated because there's different types of immigration, right? I mean, there's skill-based immigration, there is spousal reunification, there's family reunification, there is, political refugees, there's refugees from war zones, there's temporary workers, there's foreign students. And for the purposes of this discussion, they are all thrown into one big bucket with the label immigration on it. And anybody who pushes back on any aspect of it, on any aspect of any part of the bucket, is immediately attacked as being against the whole bucket. So if you question anything, you are immediately labeled as anti-immigrants, racist, white supremacist, whatever. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, you are completely attacked and shouted down. And this is what Doug Ford did. Now, I don't know whether he meant to do it or not, but he actually attacked a very, very, very tiny part of the Canadian immigration system. He dared to suggest that people who don't want to live according to our laws are not welcome to come here. And that idea that any part of immigration can actually be bad and we might not want it, that meant that all of a sudden he's against immigration in all of its form. Now, to his credit, he didn't really say anything that, and that's not what he means. And the media found itself in a weird situation because they're not able to attack him like they normally would. Because what he said made perfect sense. He said, if you are a criminal, if you want to come here and cause violence, we don't want you. There's nothing controversial about it, except this idea that in Canada, nobody is allowed to question any aspect of immigration. Not a single one. Now, that's a pretty convenient situation for the Liberals and the Liberal government. Because, think about it, if you are able to, in any discussion, any conversation, any argument, any debate, if you are able to arrange it so the other side cannot speak, it's pretty easy for you to win the debate, isn't it? Right? I mean, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to prevent anybody from being able to say anything. Imagine if you're in a court of law. Imagine the plaintiff is able to address the judge, address the jury, and make all sorts of claims about the defendant, and then the defendant's lawyer is not allowed to speak. Do you think that's a fair case? Do you think that's a good arrangement? I don't. But that is exactly what happens in Canada, both with gun control and with immigration. Now here's the thing. If they get it wrong on gun control, few more people die, which is sad. A bunch of target shooters have their guns taken away. Yeah, it's annoying for them, I know. But from a societal point of view, it's not that much of a problem. But if we get things wrong on immigration, this is the type of stuff that happens. And I don't want to see this in Canada. So we should all support Doug Ford's statement, and we should support it because hopefully it is the thin edge of the wedge which will allow us to have a conversation about this. Because until now, we've not been able to. We've not been allowed to. We've been shouted down, and that needs to stop. Because what's happening in France, what's happening in Germany, I don't want that happening in Canada.